A 1 month old can be diagnosed with cancer. And to me, that is painful. And as you've said, children are very innocent. But what are some of the causes? What are the underlying factors that contribute to childhood cancer, and how can they be prevented?
Well, Brian, the reason why I mentioned earlier on that the strategies that we use in adults is different from children is cancer causation is a long process, what medically we call carcinogenesis. And for children, since they are young and they are, can be diagnosed as early as a day or a month into their life in this world, we do not have them being exposed to the risk factors other than one, which is hereditary. This means genetic predisposition. So when these children, and my teacher taught me not to call them kids, it's disrespectful. When
Americans like saying kids.
No, but it is disrespectful. These children, when they are born, they have not been exposed to what we call trigger factors. Of course, for everyone to be diagnosed with cancer, there has to be an imbalance between their genetic makeup and their immunity. So if your immunity is weak and you have genetic, let me say, instabilities, then you just need a trigger factor to initiate the process.
What are some of the prevention measures? Because I know you're talking about some hereditary.
Well, our government currently shifting into, promotion and prevention, generally in approaching health, moving away from curative, which is very costly. But in children, it is a bit different. We do not have so much focus, especially in cancer, on prevention. We are actually focusing on quality treatment because, as I've rightfully said, whatever we would always want to prevent is on the risk factors. But then there are not much risk factors. So what we would do is to encourage parents when they are carrying, these lovely babies in utero to avoid potential risk factors, alcohol, tobacco use, which are known to be risk factors for adults, exposure to chemicals. But from evidence, this has not been the main reason why children get diagnosed with cancer. It is genetic instabilities that, and their immune, which is compromised. So if you have a child, for instance, who has HIV, we have what we call prevention of mother-to-child transmission of HIV because HIV affects the immunity. But there are many other causes of immune compromises other than this. So it's important that the approach, and we would want to educate and inform the public on importance of, quality diagnosis and quality treatment for childhood cancers. That has to be very, very clear. We are not focusing
specified.
so much. It is specified. In our country, the leading types of cancers in children are different from adults. We are talking about leukemias. These are blood cancers. So we are talking about lymphomas. These are cancers that affect lymph nodes, those glands that we have them in our armpits, that we have them in our groins. Remember when we were growing up, if you have a wound in the leg, then you find a swelling by your groin. Those are called lymph nodes, and they are important in providing immunity for us. But now when you get cancer, they overmultiply as a way of responding to a challenge that they are facing, and they swell. That is lymphomas. We also have kidney cancers in children. If you look at what our focus is really, we also have brain tumors among the children, and head and neck cancers called nasopharyngeal carcinomas. And there are many other cancers that affect children as well. So our focus is how do we then diagnose early by educating parents, educating healthcare providers, even our medical team. They need to know, how do we suspect? High index of suspicion in children matters more than teaching people about prevention. Because for children, if you diagnose early, you can actually simply treat them and they get cured. And these are the approaches which the West are using. A mother should know when they are, showering their little baby, what telltale signs can they be doing? For example, if you want to diagnose cancer of the kidney. We call them nephroblastomas. We are asking mothers, when you are cleaning, showering your babies, be touching their tummy. You can pick something which is bumpy and you can report early.
Is proper care, up close care, because sometimes we have parents who are very busy. As soon as they start taking care of the children, maybe the first 3 months, the fourth month, amerudi kazini, then it becomes hard for them to actually just take care of the baby.
Oh, parents, you cannot afford not to take control and charge of your children while they are growing up.
Yeah.
And we have to do this jointly. Give you another example. In school, you see a kid who, while the others are playing, looks lazy, cannot run. When you ask them to walk, they breathe very fast. And also, parents at home, when you see your child is not very active, sometimes it could just be this child is weak because they have low blood levels, and these are among the first telltale signs for leukemias.